As we're troubleshooting network issues, one of the things we might want to consider is a bad cable. Maybe the cable has somehow been damaged. And in this video, we want to take a look at some indications that we might have a bad cable, and additionally, we'll take a look at some issues that might occur from the interface configuration on a router into which that cable is plugging. One of my favorite commands for troubleshooting issues like this is the show interfaces command. Here I'm going to say show interface gigabit 0/1, and it gives us a lot of output about this interface. We see its MAC address, we see its IP address, we see its MTU, and on and on. But let's focus on a few specific issues that we might run into, and one is a duplex mismatch. This is not as big of a deal as it once was. Duplex mismatch means that one end of a connection is running in half duplex mode and one end is running in full duplex mode. And with half duplex mode, we can only be sending or receiving at any one time, not both at the same time, while with full duplex we can send and receive simultaneously. And really, half duplex is sort of a legacy technology. We used to have that with old Ethernet hubs. We don't see that much today. But we might have some legacy devices on our network, and maybe we're hard-coded on one of those devices to run in half duplex. And maybe the router is running in full duplex. Well, here you see that this interface is set to auto duplex. It will negotiate with the far side what the duplex should be. If we do have a duplex mismatch, that's going to lead to poor network performance, and the errors that we have in the output of this command, they're going to be continually incrementing. And I want to draw your attention to the input errors and output errors. These are not specific errors. These are grand totals. For example, the input errors, that's the grand total of errors that we've received on frames coming into this interface. And an output error, that would be an error that we experienced when we're sending a frame out of this interface. But it's the grand total of all these different potential errors, like CRC errors or runts or giants and on and on. Another configuration option that needs to match on both sides of a connection is what speed are we using? If I have one side of a connection set to 100 megabits per second and the other side is set to 1 gigabit per second, not only will we have an increasing number of input-output errors, we might get poor network performance, but we might have no connectivity at all because these devices cannot agree on the rate at which they're communicating. And now that we've identified a couple of these issues that we need to watch out for, let's take a look at some of these errors on screen and talk about what they might indicate. Maybe an error could indicate a bad cable. Maybe it might indicate a duplex mismatch. Let's take a look first of all at collision errors. Again, this goes back to the old days when we had Ethernet hubs or we had a bus topology and only one device could communicate on this network segment at any one time. In fact, each device would listen for a period of time to see if anyone else was transmitting. And if nobody else was, that device would say, "The coast is clear, I'm going to send my frame." However, what if two devices were listening at the same time and they both simultaneously conclude that the coast is clear? They both send their frames at the same time and bam, we have a collision. And then the frames have to be retransmitted. We don't see this much with full duplex connections, but collisions were very common when we had hubs in the network. And if we're experiencing a lot of collisions, maybe there's a legacy hub in the network. Maybe our duplex, at least on one side, is set to half duplex, but it could also indicate a bad cable. It could indicate mismatched speeds as well. And a specific type of collision that gets its own counter is a late collision. This is a collision, but it occurs after 512 bits of a frame have been transmitted. This could again be caused by a duplex mismatch or a bad cable. So as we start to see some of these errors, we might start to think, well, my duplex is set to full on both sides. Maybe I should check out my cabling. Another error I want you to know about is a runt. And a runt is an Ethernet frame that is too small. In other words, it is less than 64 bytes. And by the way, that 64 bytes does include the 18 bytes of Ethernet header overhead. And oftentimes we see these runts due to a damaged network cable, or maybe we have a faulty or damaged network interface card. And even though it doesn't directly relate to troubleshooting cabling, I wanted to also introduce you to the giants error, because it's sort of the opposite of runts. Runts, we said, were too small. Well, giants are too big. And by too big, I mean they are greater than 1518 bytes. Assuming we're not configured for something like jumbo frames, where we can have frame sizes over 9,000 bytes. But also, in addition to being too big, a giant also has to have an incorrect frame check sequence, or an FCS, to check to see if a frame has been corrupted in transit. The sender will do a mathematical process on this frame, running a calculation called a CRC, a cyclic redundancy check. And the result of that CRC is a value, an FCS, the frame check sequence. And if the sender and the receiver calculate different FCS values, odds are that frame has been corrupted in transit. And this often happens because the devices at each end of a connection, they're set to different MTUs, different maximum transmission units. In other words, they don't agree on what the maximum size of a frame should be. And one more error that might indicate bad cabling is a CRC error. And we just defined the CRC when talking about the FCS. The CRC, the cyclic redundancy check, that was a calculation that was performed on a frame, and the result of that CRC calculation was the FCS. But if we have a CRC error, which would mean the FCS numbers don't match up at each end of a connection, that often points us to a bad cable. Or we could have a duplex mismatch, or maybe we're nearby some powerful transmission source like an antenna, or we're on a factory floor with big machines kicking on and off. Those types of things could generate electromagnetic interference, or EMI. That could also lead to a CRC error. And that's a look at some of the common cabling issues we might run into in the real world, as well as some of the interface settings we need to keep in mind while troubleshooting.